In a small, impoverished barrio where life's dreams wilted faster than flowers under the scorching sun, a tale of passion, betrayal, and blood unfolded, all revolving around a tulip. This flower, so beautiful and vibrant, held a deadly secret within its petals. Mark was a farmer who, under the weight of poverty, had long given up on the idea of fortune. Every day, he toiled in the arid fields, his hands roughened and his back bent. His wife, Rose, once the most radiant beauty in the town, had grown weary of waiting for a better life. The love they once shared had been eroded by the grinding hardship of their existence. Then, Luis came into their lives. He was everything Mark wasn't: sharp, charismatic, and dangerous. Luis had recently returned to the barrio after years in the city, flaunting wealth that seemed too good to be true. But his riches weren't born of honest work. His fortune was built on the illicit trade, where drugs were disguised in the most unassuming forms. Luis introduced tulips to the barrio, bright red and exotic flowers that no one could resist. The townsfolk were mesmerized by their beauty, and soon these blooms became symbols of love and admiration. But hidden within the petals was a sinister reality. The tulips were a front for Luis's drug empire. The flowers carried narcotics, their delicate pollen replaced with a powder that destroyed lives. Rose first met Luis during one of his visits to the local market. She had been selling vegetables, her spirit as wilted as her produce. Luis handed her a tulip, its vibrant colour stark against her weary hands. "This," he said with a sly smile, "is not just a flower, it's an opportunity." Rose didn't understand at first, but Luis explained, selling tulips could bring her more money in a day than her husband earned in a month. The promise of escape from her dreary life was too tempting. Soon, Rose was not just selling tulips, she was distributing the hidden poison they carried. Mark noticed the changes in Rose. She had new clothes, jewellery, and an air of confidence he hadn't seen in years. But she grew distant, spending more time away from home. When he confronted her, she dismissed his concerns. "Why can't you just be happy for me?" she snapped. "I'm doing this for us." But Mark wasn't blind. He saw how Rose and Luis exchanged lingering looks when they thought no one was watching. His suspicions festered until one night he followed her. What he found shattered him. Rose was with Luis in an abandoned warehouse, surrounded by crates of tulips. They were laughing, their hands brushing in a way that left no doubt about their relationship. Mark clenched his fists, anger burning through his veins. When Rose returned home, Mark confronted her. "Is this what we've become?" he demanded. "You selling poison to our neighbours, to our friends, and with—" One night, Mark decided he'd had enough. He confronted Luis in the same warehouse where the tulips were stored. The two men faced each other, the air thick with tension. "You stole my wife," Mark said, his voice trembling with rage. "You turned her into a criminal. I won't let you take anything else from me." Luis laughed, pulling a gun from his belt. "You stop me? You couldn't even keep her happy." The sound of the gunshot echoed through the warehouse, but it wasn't Luis who fired. Rose stood behind him, holding Mark's old revolver. Her hands trembled as she looked at Luis, then at Mark. "I couldn't let him kill you," she whispered. Luis fell to the ground, his blood pooling among the scattered tulips. The vibrant red petals were now indistinguishable from the crimson stain. Rose dropped the gun, her legs giving out beneath her. Mark rushed to her side, but the damage had already been done. The police arrived, drawn by the commotion, and both Mark and Rose were taken into custody. In the end, the tulips, a flower once symbolizing love, had brought nothing but destruction. Rose and Mark's story became a cautionary tale in the barrio, a reminder of how desperation could twist even the purest intentions. And as the seasons passed, the tulips that had once bloomed so vividly were replaced by weeds, their legacy one of heartbreak and regret.